Well, sad news, folks. Even sadder than learning that the stuff posted on Trump Jr.'s Twitter account yesterday was fake. But it looks like authorities in Colorado, the district attorney, is not going to be pressing any charges against Lauren Boebert for her recent behavior in the theater while watching Beetlejuice the musical with her now ex-boyfriend. Now, in case you've been in a coma for the last week, just to kind of refresh everybody's memory, Lauren Boebert got in a little bit of trouble, not just for being raucous and vaping during the performance, but also for, let's call it reaching across the aisle and making sure that her date was having a good time while watching Beetlejuice. She, in turn, was also, being felt up. And there were reports earlier this week suggesting that the anti-lewdness laws in Colorado could in fact be used to prosecute Lauren Boebert and her date. After all, the anti-lewdness laws do specifically talk about, public groping and, exhibitionism, if you will. But it was announced, of course, this is the Denver district attorney. This is what they told the New York Post. They said, quote, "While Congresswoman Boebert's conduct in the theater was clearly inappropriate and disrespectful, we concluded that it does not warrant a criminal prosecution." So, she lives to fight another day, right? She's not going to be prosecuted for her grotesque display during Beetlejuice. And here's the thing, if you look at Colorado's anti-lewdness laws, there does have to be a measure of intent. So even if they did want to bring charges, it would be very, very difficult for them to be able to prove that they knew they were being watched and that they kind of wanted people to watch, because you got to have that aspect to it. So it does really have to be an act of exhibitionism versus just a discreet, grab and tug here and there, if you want to call it that. So it would be a very difficult prosecution to do, and they would likely lose. And if they were to do that and lose, that's only going to bolster Lauren Boebert. But if she thinks her problems are over, she better think again. This is the kind of footage that, as I said earlier this week, should be used by her Democratic challenger, Adam Frisch, in every single campaign ad starting right this second. I don't want to see this footage pop up next October. I want to see it in ads running in Colorado today. I want her district to be embarrassed of her. I want them to be embarrassed that this is who they've now sent to Congress twice. Because that's what needs to happen. And it needs to happen because you already have a lot of Republicans in that district that are embarrassed by her behavior before the whole Beetlejuice thing even happened. They were already sick of her. She squeaked by her reelection, and then even just a few months later, after a couple weeks in the House this year, Republicans in her district were already saying, "We're sick of her. She's embarrassing. She's not doing anything for us." So this footage needs to be in those ads. It needs to run nonstop between now and next year's election. That's what has to happen. This allegedly, Christian values, moral high ground individual needs to be shown as the hypocrite that she is. And the footage does a better job of that than any talking points could, than any video I can produce or anybody else doing this. The footage speaks for itself, but it needs to be speaking for itself as part of a political campaign, not just people using it to make fun of her and point out her hypocrisy. The voters in that district need to be reminded of how embarrassing this was, not just for her, but for them. Because if they can keep that in their heads, they might just vote her out next year. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.